it's Tina, and today I'm doing the over 30 book tag. It was originally done by Ink Not Blood, and then I'll link that video down below. Go check it out. I was super excited to find this tag because not that there's anything wrong with the younger crowd, but it does feel like the younger crowd is more easily found on BookTube. I thought it was amazing that I could search over 30 book tag, and there's a huge group of over 30 booktubers that I didn't know was there before. I decided to do the book tag to put myself out there as an over 30 booktuber. First question. Name one of your favorite books that features a protagonist 30 years or older. This is a recent read. The book that I chose was Suddenly Psychic by Elizabeth Hunter. That should be no surprise if you've been around for a minute that I chose an Elizabeth Hunter book. This book is about a 45-year-old married woman with one child off in college, and then her second child is, I think she's a senior and about to go to college in the next year. She's been married to her husband for a long time. She kind of feels her life is a little bit stale because she kind of feels like she's uninteresting because for the longest time she's been a mother, a wife, and she also owns a antique shop in this small little town. She kind of feels like she's lost her identity. I can identify with some of those things. Now, I'm not 45, I'm close to 40. The story starts off with Robin taking her close friend out for drinks and karaoke because it's her close friend's birthday. And on the way to drinks and karaoke to celebrate her friend's birthday, they get into this car accident where her car goes into the lake and sinks. They make it out alive, but they don't make it out alive the same. They each have a kind of different psychic ability, and they're trying to figure out where these abilities came from, why do they have them, what to do with them. It's an interesting story as a older woman getting these special powers late in her life while she is questioning her life, and it's a turning point where literally everything changes. Her kids are going off to college. It's just gonna be her and her husband alone. She has these sudden new powers. She's trying to find her own identity again. And to me, it's a cool book. And I can identify with some of the things that they talk about and they're doing because I'm almost to that stage in life. That was a long roundabout way. It's a recent favorite book with a protagonist over 30. Question 2. Name a book that represents you while you were younger. Fern from Charlotte's Web. And the reason being is because she lives on a farm. I lived on a farm, a tiny farm. I didn't live on as big a farm as she did. And we bred dogs. Fern is a little bit stubborn, and my parents were kind of like her parents, in the same mentality of, well, if you want this, you're gonna have to take care of it. If I really wanted something, I basically found a way to do it myself and take care of it. We did have a litter of puppies. Now, I didn't take care of these myself. My whole family was involved. We did have a litter of puppies. It was our last litter that our female had a really hard time having them. And so she had to get a C-section. That affected her negatively to where her milk dried up. And then she didn't have enough milk to provide for her litter of puppies. So every few hours, we had to bottle feed them. I know what it's like to nurse a baby something to health and make sure that they have what they need and provide. And I would say Fern from Charlotte's Web is the book that probably I can most identify with as a kid. Name a book that represents where you are in your life now. The book that would represent where I'm at in my life now is probably Harry Potter. This book that I can point to probably. And Molly Weasley is who I probably would point to. She is a mother of teens. When you have teens, it tends to be that they bring their friends over and you're around a bunch of them. You generally have a pack of them. You take on the role of taking care of more than just yours. For example, my son does club sports. I rely on other parents, and other parents rely on me to pick up kids, take them to their games, take them to practices. Kids sleep over. There's kids when school's in session, not when we're in a pandemic. There's kids that generally come over often to our house and they raid my pantry. I probably identify her most is because she took on the role of somewhat mothering Harry Potter. And that was her, her child's best friend. And it just kind of happens when you have teens. You just take the group of them and you treat each one like they're your own kid. That's probably why I identify with her most, is because she took on Harry Potter and a little bit of Hermione Granger and just kind of took them in and treat them like her own kids. And that's what I feel I kind of do with some of my teens friends, is they're just a pack. Then they all travel together, and whoever's house they're at is whoever's mom they have. So name a book that represents something that has never changed about you. I'm going to go with a recent read, and I'm going to go with The Eye of the World, and I'm going to go with Nynaeve. Nynaeve is a character that I find very stubborn, a little irritating, and fiercely wants to protect who she feels is her people. And that is probably me. I am extremely stubborn, and if you ask my husband and maybe some other people that know me really well, a little irritating. And I will fiercely protect who I feel is my people. So yeah. Number 5, name your favorite classic. My favorite classic is The Outsiders. I picked this up, I don't know how I even learned about this book, but I picked this up as a teenager and read it and loved it, not thinking that I would even like it because it's not generally in the genres that I read. This is my probably favorite classic, is The Outsiders. And it's probably because, is it stay cool soda pop or be cool soda pop? It's one of my favorite things to say on a regular basis. So number 6 is name a book that you would like to read published in the year that you were born. Now, I don't know if this book was published in the year because I get conflicting information. Some say it was published in 1982, some say it was published in 1984, some say it was published in 1983. But it's in the area of when I was born, so I'm going to choose The Mists of Avalon. I really don't know much about this book, except for I found it on a list of fantasy books with amazing mothers or fantasy books with outstanding mothers, and I put it on my to be read list because I'm a mom and I want to read about amazing mothers in a genre that I read. And a lot of times in fantasy, the mother's dead or horrible or just not in the story very much. It'd be kind of nice to find a book where there's some kick-ass mothers. That is the over 30 book tag. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know who to tag because I don't know who is over 30, and I don't want to risk thinking somebody's over 30 when they're not. But I'm not going to tag anybody. If you've seen this video and you want to do the tag, consider yourself tagged. Also, put your video in the comments below so I can check them out, because I also want to know the answers to these questions from you guys. I will see you next time. Bye. I am so fumbling. What is her name? Oh. Why don't I have words? Why? Why can't I talk? Yeah. Yeah, and that's only question 3. Seriously, it's... Ugh. My heart is pissing me off.